Hello, and welcome to my stream once again. I am rich, not fiscally, just nomically, and I am playing Champions Online, a superhero MMO. And the purpose of this stream is to see what stories the game is trying to tell, because I think that this is kind of an overlooked game, and there are some fun references, fun stories, fun interactions in the game, and I also have fun personally overthinking things, overanalyzing, wondering, how does a character whose attacks are based around or use visible, visibly arcing lightning, quite large lightning bolts as well. How does someone like that capture enemies without killing them or hurting them badly? How indeed do characters who have swords or guns as their power, or indeed fire, how do characters like that take down their opponents without, just murdering them? That's the sort of question that I find myself asking playing this game. And, ooh, Diamondback. Not familiar with this person. Let's find out more about him. If we can. If the game will let us. No. It's just got loading. I mean, this guy, we should be able to find out today. With more effective direction, more highly trained and better armed agents than ever, and the most extensive resources it has ever had, Viper is one of the most serious threats to world peace and security. One of the most serious threats to world peace and security. So what I'm doing currently is attempting to deliberately get captured by Viper, which might mean get inside, but that doesn't. This is not clear. Do I go inside? I can't, but there is a Viper intel report here. Serpent General, we have conducted a lengthy interrogation of the advanced precognitive subject within the holding area of our Canadian Project Awakening facility, and have enclosed a transcription of our sessions with him for your edification. The subject suffers from advanced neural degradation, and moments of focus and lucidity are sporadic and growing increasingly infrequent. Sounds like a terrible time this person's having. Still, the subject has offered detailed descriptions of visions that we feel are invaluable to our intelligence division and merits your approval of our recent funding increase requests. Please refer in particular to page 14 of interrogation transcription, where Precog foretells of a return of Dr. Destroyer. Subject also makes multiple references to a superhero called Technical Issues, who possesses potentially a great threat to our worldwide operations. Who poses, potentially, a threat. Right. Yes. Well, that's certainly something I would do. Technical Issues, by the way, the name that I chose for my character, in honor of the fact that this is, well, I'm very new to streaming. I expected to have some technical issues with the stream. And indeed I did have those. Technical issues Quite a stern woman with a massive mohawk and red, and electricity powers, because that seemed like the most appropriate. Now, with this mission that I'm supposed to be doing, I have a feeling I'm supposed to just pull a bunch of dudes in this area and let them take me down. I wonder whether I could, in fact, fly up to the maximum height and then just fall, turn off my flight power. We are, by the way, in what is called the southwestern desert, which I take to mean Arizona. This area here, for example, we're at the top of the flight room. This area over here, perhaps easier to see on the map, is the location of some heavy nuclear testing. This is the location of a prison, which is having a prison outbreak problem, I think. So just turn off flight. Hi, how's it going? So the answer is no, I'm not supposed to just let myself get taken out. Oh, yes I was. Here we are. Let Viper lock you inside Project Stein. Ah, this is Nighthawk. Kind of this universe's stand-in for Batman, I think. Oh, interesting. He's got powers. Psionic Mastermind, Energy Projector, Hikers. We gotta escape, but all those Viper agents, technical issues. You got a plan? Let's see what... Yeah, escapees from Stronghold, the highest security supervillain prison in the entire world. This lethal jawbreaker either attacks with electrified or ice attacks, so be ready to block. Okay. Fear your fears first and defeat the nasty nightmares summoned by this malevolent mentalist. Yeah, so this is perhaps the most clear I've seen of an indication in the game that they drew their inspiration from sort of 70s, 80s, Silver Age, Bronze Age comics. It's quite campy. No one gets too badly hurt. It's not quite on the same level as Adam West's Batman, but... Oh, she's just Climber, okay. And what about you? Climber, oh, as well, okay. Right, well, let's turn on my shock powers and flight and see about destroying this door. There we are. Yes, step into a corridor with someone who controls electricity. I'm sure that's a good idea. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really a melee character by any stretch of the imagination. Much more comfortable at range. I do love when that happens. So there are lunge powers that launch your character at targets, and due to the way that they've created the enemies in the game, they've got almost exactly the same powers that are available to players. I kind of want to help these guys stay alive, but at the same time I want to explore. So if an enemy has a power, it's pretty good odds that a player can also get that power, which means vice versa is also true. So if you have access to, as a player, to a power, an enemy will probably have it as well. And there are lunge abilities that let you throw yourself at enemies to, if you're a melee character, to just speed up fighting. And what happens is sometimes an enemy will use that power, or such a power, on low health, just as you attack them, and take them down. Knock them out, I think, is probably the term. This is probably an extra area for if you're on a team, so that they've got enough space. And what will happen sometimes is you'll catch an opponent and knock them out just as they're using their lunge ability, and their body counts as a physical object in the game because it can be thrown around, lifted up, and so once it's launched itself and is no longer conscious, it will still keep moving. So you sometimes get enemies launch at you and just fall over, just go straight past you and fall over, which always amuses me. Let's see. Oh, these guys didn't manage to make it past all these infiltrators. Oh yes, tangentially related to what I was just talking about, it should technically be possible to create or recreate any of these appearances with the character creator. There might be some costume pieces that aren't available, particularly if you're new to the game or haven't played for ages, so you may not have unlocked all of the costume options, but you can probably get fairly close if your heart absolutely desires to play as a Viper agent who has defected, for example. Then you can do that. You can't get the game to acknowledge that that's what you're doing, that's what you're being. You're basically just some bog standard everyday superhero. Or you can't get them to acknowledge that you defected if you were playing as an ex-Viper agent, but the game will, as we saw just before, acknowledge that you exist and that you pose a threat to Viper as a whole. Oh, he just injected himself with some kind of serum. Stop this fool, or Dr. Blank may decide to test his grunt serum on us. And Timothy Blank used his serum on himself. Ooh, I should have gotten information on him there. Although I don't know how much it would have been giving us. Dr. Demogard. Clearly, the abusive diatribe of your last correspondence betrays your fundamental lack of confidence in your own increasing preposterous experimentation. During my own sequencing of Gron's genetic code, I have used numerous humans as control subjects, and based on their own DNA maps, I can say with confidence that there is not enough latent dinosaur DNA in the human genetic code to wake. Your futile theories do little to advance Viper, and only succeed in taking valuable money and resources from our more worthy projects, namely my own Project Stein program, designed to create an army of Viper-controlled Grons. Now, he's correct. There shouldn't be really any dinosaur DNA in the human genetic code, because we are not descended from the same creatures. If you were looking for dinosaur DNA in the modern age, I might suggest looking in birds, not mammals. Furthermore, my own experimentation with Dracia has met with decidedly mixed results, so I can't imagine you would achieve any different results. And so, once again, I implore you to abandon your misguided research. Should you come to your senses, I would gladly welcome you into my own laboratory, perhaps in a position more suitable to your meagre talents, such as a junior research assistant or janitor. With best intentions, Dr. Timothy Blank. What a charming character. So the game will, as we saw earlier, in the form of Viper's report on precognitive visions, note that your player character is a threat to Viper as a whole, but they won't recognize any extra story you've put in about your character as being a part of some other organization that exists in the game before they became a hero. So, for example, you can create a vampire character. There are vampires later in the game. You can create a vampire that looks basically exactly the same as any of the other vampire creatures that you meet, or any of the selection of vampires that you meet in the game. But none of them will go, "Oh, hold on, you're a vampire. I know you. We were in the same coven for a while." Not even named characters. That doesn't mean it should stop you, just that the level of interaction with... the game allows you to create picture-perfect recreations of enemy mobs as your character, but doesn't allow you to tell it that you want extra interaction based on that, which is unfortunate, because I think it should really be possible. Also, I mean, this is going back a little bit, and perhaps I should have remembered to mention it earlier, but interesting to note that Timothy, what was his name? Blank, transformed into a four-armed creature, so he became hexapod rather than quadruped like humans are. I mean, technically we're bipeds because we use 2 legs, but we've got 4 limbs, and so we are quadrupeds, strictly speaking. He became hexapod, as in 6-limbed, and my thinking so far, based on what I'd learned, was that Grondlings and Grond himself were a hexapod race of subterranean mole people that had been affected quite badly by the nuclear testing done in this area in the 1950s, because apparently that's how long they've been around for. But if a human can mutate into a Grondling, or even a mini Grond replica, this suggests odd things about human DNA and the relationship between humans and Grondlings in the game. Now, we do see humans afflicted with radiation exposure, which is not to say dead humans, as we would see in our world, but humans who are starting to mutate, so they have too many digits or too few, Their limbs start changing sizes. They actually kind of look a little bit like zombies, particularly in the face, and some of the more high-powered irradiate enemies. That's the faction of human radiation victims who have the flesh of their forearms invisible and glowing bones. And so we can see what radiation does to humans in that that's what they look like. They look like irradiates. And they tend to hang out with grundlings because they are both radiation affected, I guess. But so far in the game, we haven't seen anything tying the two together, or really any indication that grundlings are related to humans. Excellent work, technical issues. Like the reward. So, oh right, that's just telling me to go to Canada, which I will do now because it looks like I have exhausted all missions in the area. I mean, I probably now like level 23. I'm probably high enough level to just zoom over to one of these two areas and find missions, but I'm actually going to pay attention to what the game is trying to tell me to do, so I will go to Canada. I want to be going this way, actually, don't I? So this is a jet bike. It's a vehicle, a summonable mount, basically, that can fly. Unlike World of Warcraft, this one can also... This is equipped with attacks. It's generally not such a good idea to attack with a vehicle because it's not got such good defenses, kind of limited. I don't think it has an energy builder, which is something that you need for a functioning character. So this is an energy builder, which is a toggle. You target an enemy, hit the button to use your, in this case, electric bolt, and instead of using up energy, it will generate energy. Vehicles, at least the one that I just had out then, didn't have or doesn't have an energy builder. I think some of them do, and I don't know. And I think they used to all. I think they all used to, and I don't know why it's changed or when it changed. Another note on vehicles is that they are not customizable in the same way that characters are. They have a selection of visual types, like that one that I just was on, which is called Electric Scorpion. So there are a range. In fact, I might be able to show you in the store. Grav bikes. So this is a bison. It's kind of Art Deco, or well, diesel punk really, which is a combination of diesel, Art Deco and just like 1950s, 1960s machine parts. The dagger is much more sci-fi looking, and it is basically the same as the Hornet, except as you can see, palette swapped. So with, you know, EL wire laid into it and matte black armor cladding. Here is the Wasteland Scorpion, so it's rusty and it's got green, neon green detailing, unlike mine, which is blue and has blue detailing. The Weaver jet bike, or Grav bike rather. There are other models of this in the game, but with different colours. They're just not available to purchase through the online store. So there's, what was this, Wild Eagle, and I know that that's also got some equivalents. So there's the Wasp and the Liberty, which are basically the same bike but in different colours. So this is obviously the Grav Bike Liberty is obviously very American themed. There's hover tanks and hawk wings and miscellaneous, which includes things like this weird hover car. There are gliders, so you can zoom about like your Green Goblin, and these and the grav bikes will show your character riding them, but the hover tanks and the hawk wings are fully enclosed. I mentioned last time on Wednesday that I had created a character and equipped him with this as his vehicle, and I'd themed all of his colours on the Mastodon. I'd called him Mastodon, and he looked like basically as close to a Transformer as I could manage. So I haven't really played much with that character, so I think he's level 10, but he is there. That's something you can do with your characters if you so desire, and I did. Now, we probably can just absolutely overload with missions here, because we are kind of over-leveled for this area now. We're probably supposed to have been about level 18, so we're like 5 levels above. We're probably going to be doing missions around here and here, as memory suggests. I mean, it's been a while since I've played any of this area. Where else? Where might we go? Oh well, we'll find out. How many missions do I actually have? 3. I think the maximum I can take is 25. So I could probably just load up on missions here now. Oh no, that's collections officer. That's not who I want to talk to. I bet you're as glad to be out of that desert heat as I am to see you. Technical issues. Yeah, pretty much. Let's get some info on Lieutenant Robert Mackenzie, Steelhead Division Lieutenant and brother to RMCP Steelhead Lieutenant Douglas Mackenzie. Independently wealthy after suing the Helsingor Beverage Company upon finding a mouse in a bottle of his favourite drink. Huh. Okay. That's sending us to Vibora Bay, which is one of the other... I think it's 4... No, that wouldn't be correct. So there's Monster Island and there's Atlantis, at least, so 6 outside zones, and Vibora Bay is one of them. But I don't want to be going there just at the moment. I want to do missions here and also go back to Millennium City, because there's a bunch of other missions there for me. The Hunter Patriots are getting a fresh shipment of ammunition to their Renegade Run paintball camp, but it's not paintballs. Confiscate their ammunition. To get to Renegade Run, head south of Steelhead, then head east along the road to the Leaf helicopter near Andrew Duggan. From there, turn south and follow that road to the Hunter Patriot flight pad. Once there, head east and look for a fort-like building. That's Renegade Run. Now, I am a little curious about whether the game will show me missions that I'm over level for. and I don't know how to check. Has he got a chainsaw? Sword? I think he does. I mean, it's probably not too close to being a chainsword, as you might see in Warhammer 40k, because my understanding is that GW is kind of litigious, and this game has itself had problems with legal issues. Oh yes, that's one we're already rejecting. The terrorist organization who call themselves the Hunter Patriots have been using the Renegade Run paintball camp to train new agents. The director wants that facility crippled, and I think you're the one for the job. Destroy 3 satellite dishes and 3 anti-aircraft missile launchers, and insert a computer virus into a computer console at the Renegade Run facility. The facility is southeast of 4 Station Steelhead. The dishes are on a ridge just north of the main camp. The missiles are scattered throughout the camp. The computer is in the main hangar. Now, missile launchers, so we're probably going to have to try and stay below a certain altitude, because missile launchers, as we discovered last time on Wednesday, flak cannons will target you if you're flying above a certain height. They don't do a huge amount of damage, and if I was, for example, on the Electric Scorpion mount, I would be travelling too fast for them to target me. But I won't always be on the bike whilst doing missions outside. These Hunter Patriots want to bring down the entire Canadian government. We need to hit them hard and fast before they get a chance. The best way is to cut off their supply chain. Let's see how low the morale of these fanatics drops when they start running low on not just ammunition and gear, but blankets and food. Come on, technical issues. Canada is depending on you. Well, if it's for Canada, sure. The Hunter Patriots have been stepping up recruitment among disaffected youths. I wouldn't have thought Canada was extreme enough for terrorist recruitment, but on the other hand, this is a superhero universe, so who knows what has been happening in the history of Canada here. It's up to us to make sure those recruits get dissuaded before they become fully indoctrinated. In other words, get out there and show those wannabe terrorists a thing or two. You'll find them south of the main facility near the river. Okay. There are more missions over here. You are a welcome addition to Force Station Steelhead. I'm Justicia, leader of the Super Team Star Force, and with all the trouble we have going on right now, I can't stress enough how happy I am to see you. After David Burrell was injured in a mountain climbing accident, his father kidnapped him and hired the gadgeteer supervillain Cyberlord to equip Burrell with cybernetic limbs. Burrell went on to become Justicia, the leader of the Canadian Super Team Star Force. So I remember Cyberlord. He's the one that we would fight if we were doing, or we would eventually fight if we were taking on some kind of I think it's mainframe problem mission in Millennium City. You basically enter a Tron zone inside the Champions main computer. The Champions being the premier super team in this universe, much like the Avengers or the Justice League, though smaller in membership. So you scan yourself into their computer system, which looks a lot like Tron, but not too much like Tron. And then you stop the hack that's happening to it, and then you get sent to a flying air fortress, which is run by Cyberlord, because Dr. Silverback and Socrates think that he's the one who's responsible. You fight your way in and defeat him, only to find that it's another Technopath villain who was responsible, and I can't remember his name because he never comes up again. Mentions in Justiciar's history is literally the only other time that I've seen Cyberlord mentioned. And there was that guy we were finding out something about last week called Mega something, who was an AI who preaches death to all humans. The enemy's electronic ears. We've learned that the Hunter Patriots have been trying to plant surveillance devices along our perimeters. If you can get some of these devices from the Hunter Patriots before they can place them, we can learn to detect and to counteract them. Search west of Force Station Steelhead. I'm sure a few of the Hunter Patriot agents will operate in that area. Who operate in that area will have some of these devices on them. Yes, I expect so too. I just got a call from Steelhead HQ. They said that CSIS wants us to collect the black box, pilot's log, and passenger manifest from the wreckage of Oceanica Flight 408, which is the flight that we helped rescue survivors of probably last week. Previously, when we came here during the disaster event that happened in this zone. I've played through that. I'm sure it might still be available in the VODs as recorded by Twitch, but I also have all of my VODs recorded, though I haven't started to upload them to YouTube yet, although it'll be rather odd to see me say this when I do eventually get those up on YouTube and prove myself incorrect. Anyway, I just got a call from the Oceanica Flight 408 in order to better understand what happened, what brought it down. All those items fell out of the plane as it flew overhead. Most fell on the hill just southwest of here, but that's where we have a problem, technical issues. The Hunter Patriots are crawling all over the place, and the Leaf rescue workers aren't exactly equipped to fight off armed and angry separatists. Can you recover those items for us? Are the Hunter Patriots people, French Canadians, who believe that Quebec and that side of the country should separate from the rest of Canada? I have a sneaking suspicion that they are. Viper sends regular reports on their activities to the director at their headquarters. They even have a spy within the Hunter Patriots keeping track of their activities. I want you to locate the 3 couriers and intercept them so we can learn what Viper is up to. I have a suspicion those creeps are about to launch an attack, and I don't want to be blindsided. Find and intercept couriers. Find Project Awakening courier crossing. You probably want A in there, don't you? Find a Project Awakening courier crossing the river just north of the lake. The HQ courier gathers info from Viper soldiers in the vicinity of the HQ itself. The Hunter Patriots courier travels the road leading south from the Viper HQ. Now, it might take a little while to actually find him, because there are actually 2 roads. They're actually just ravines between hills here, and I don't know where they spawn. I don't know if someone else who's doing missions in this area may have just taken one out where I'm not, and I don't know what the patrol route is, so it might take a while, unfortunately, to actually do that. Are you familiar with Stronghold Prison? It's a supermax facility designed specifically to contain superpowered criminals. I received an urgent call from the assistant warden there, Rebecca Rothschild, while you were out in the field. I probably am not supposed to be taking this one yet, so I'll decline it. because... Oh, right, yes, that's the other one I've already... I probably also... Oh, this is just telling me to go back to Millennium City. Mission from Witchcraft. Demons and other supernatural baddies have been sighted in Millennium City. Okay, we don't actually want to be taking that one yet either, because we're over level for that. And I just discovered, talking to Justice Yar, that he was able to give me level 16 missions, so there isn't a setting to remove under-level missions, or if there is, I have it set to show them. I must have done that at some point in the past, if indeed that is an option, and completely forgotten about it. So, who's this? Mark Derringer. Oh right, it's there as well. Leader of Steelhead Division, Mark Derringer was the superhero known as Avenger in the 80s, under the part of the Vancouver super team Sunder. He's a dedicated taskmaster who refuses to compromise or play politics. Wow, that's a demon dude. Nice, a gargoyle in fact. He might be themed on Goliath. Huh, gargoyle. Is this going to show me any personal info? Seems not. Okay. Precog's aversion. Viper has been interrogating precogs in an underground bunker. Find the bunker in the Massaugua Hills. Massaugua Hills, and rescue the precogs. Easy enough. Viper has been collecting crates of weapons in a bunker in Massaugua Hills. Find the weapons and disable them before Viper can use them against us. I mean, I can probably just superheat them with electricity, but sure, I'll do that. Make snakes moan. Yeah, basically any pop culture artifact from before 2009 when this game was made, you've got a pretty good chance of seeing it referenced in here. We're getting word that Viper is making headway with their Project Awakening programs, so it's time to go on the attack. In the name of justice, of course. We don't need a sophisticated plan of attack. Just go there and knock enough heads around, and the cowards will run for the hills. There are hills to the far south of Viper's Project Awakening base, west of the lake, where some of Viper's newly trained psionic agents have gathered. I think they are preparing an attack on Steelhead Base as part of some demented graduation exercise. Time to go on the offensive, don't you agree? Interesting that me, a lone superhero, is enough to take on such an attack force and scatter them, when they would pose a serious problem to all of Force Station Steelhead. I mean, I know currently I'm over-leveled for it, but if I was doing this in the correct order, or, well, not correct order, but if I was doing that at the appropriate level, I would still be perfectly capable. Mounting danger. Yes, very good. Your presence here has been a little too inspirational for some of our Steelhead troops' technical issues. You make it look so easy. I've barely done anything yet. I mean, yes, okay, this is a level 23 mission, and I would have been coming here at level 16 to 18, so probably we can count it as having already done those lower level missions. But this is still super awkward. After seeing you in action, some trainees headed into Massaugua Hills, thinking they could take on Viper on their own. Those green recruits don't stand a chance. You should be able to find the recruits to the east of Project Awakening. Yep. Okay. Let's go help them. Oh, there's more missions here. Eddie Nelson. Those Hunter Patriot terrorists have plans to bring down the entire Canadian government. I'm glad you're here to help put a stop to them. Paint the town dead. Let's find out what he's about. Dedicated steelhead Mountie. In his spare time, Mountie Nelson pursues his dream of becoming a classically trained baritone. Okay, that's interesting character information. I mean, I don't expect him to feature much as a character, but it's nice that they put it in there. We have word that some innocent civilians went to Renegade Run to actually play paintball. Unless you can rescue them, the Hunter Patriots will probably make them disappear. Yeah, it's stuff like that, and stuff like the things that the New Purple Gang did in Millennium City that make me not terribly worried about the lethality that my character might be bringing to bear against them. They're just not good people. Our scientists have developed a new nanotech-based paintball that causes psychic interference. Just the thing to weaken the Hunter Patriots' mental link, eh? All I need you to do... They have a mental link! Wild. All I need you to do is head over to Renegade Run Paintball Camp and switch out their old paintball ammo with the ammo equipped with nano tracers. That should be a piece of cake, especially for a big-time superhero like you, Technical Issues. Well, I still don't feel like I'm a big-time superhero, you know? Like, what level would that have been? About level 20? Okay, so that's half the level cap of the game. Maybe once you're level 40, you're supposed to be like the premier hero in the world. Ahead of even Defender and Witchcraft. Hello, friend. I'm Celestar. Good to have you here in the Great White North. The greatest of the northern spirits imbued me with cosmic fire, so I could lead the fight against the ancient evil god Kigatilic. But there is plenty of evil in these snowy woodlands, and your assistance could not have come at a better time. So, is he some kind of Silver Surfer, Captain Atom combination? Or, I don't know, maybe Shazam or Captain Marvel, DC's Captain Marvel? I can't think of any... Maybe there's a Marvel hero who was imbued by celestial cosmic beings and looks like somewhat like this, but I can't think of him, if there is. Monitoring modulators. Gadroon specialist. Gadroon are interesting. We'll meet them in a little while. Aliens. Celestar, real name Lonnie Lawrence, was given powers of living energy by the Land, the greatest of all the northern spirits. A member of the supergroup the Mighty Canadians, Celestar saw all his teammates fall to Kigatilic in a battle which haunts him to this day. He is determined to rescue his teammates from the Tomb, the dimension of frozen torment they are imprisoned in, and vowed to stop the threat of Kigatilic once and for all. I wonder whether we're actually going to do that or not. I mean, I haven't, but then I haven't played all of the content in this game yet. But certainly worthy of help. What level is he? 30. Some time ago, our scientists fabricated a device to mimic a Gadroon graviton biomodulator. The device is the Gadroon use as part of their terraforming process. Travel southwest out of Steelhead to the Fallen Sun Forest and recover data from the device. The Gadroon... I think we probably should have met them by now in Millennium City, except we were running about in the desert. But missions that relate to them in Millennium City contain a lot of references to They Live the film by John Carpenter. So, I mean, we're going to go and do those at some point, but probably not today. Those Gadroon are some of the most savage beings in the galaxy, possibly even worse than the Kular. We sent a Steelhead Division scientist to monitor increased Gadroon activity in the Fallen Sun Forest, but now I worry it's more than Dr. Charbonneau can handle. Or Charbonneau, maybe. He's got a repeatable mission for me. They call me Raven Speaker. To my enemies I am both a trickster and a liar, but to you I will be a friend. With my elemental magic I watch over this land, but your assistance is certainly most welcome. I feel like only one of those qualifiers were needed. Either assistance is most welcome or is certainly welcome. I feel like this is a bit much. A member of the Haida tribe. I hope that that's a real tribe. Raven Speaker employs powerful Native American magic and is a vessel for Yelth, the ancient spirit of the Raven. Raven Speaker has formidable elemental powers, but is a trickster and is just as apt to defeat adversaries with words and guile as he is mysticism. Raven Speaker can be found in his physical form at Force Station Steelhead, and in his astral form in Chiatanka Bluff. Okay, Rebel Quell. You know what they say about what happens when you back a wild animal into a corner, don't you? That animal is likely to do something desperate and crazy. Well, the Hunter Patriots are like that wild animal. We've made great strides in foiling their terrorist activities, but all this has done has strengthened their resolve to do something terrible. That's why we have to act while the Hunter Patriots are vulnerable. Go out and take out as many as you can technical issues. That might be the final straw that breaks the camel's back, the wild camel that's been backed into a corner. The wild Canadian camel? Defeat 150 Hunter Patriots. Yeah, okay. It's just the same as the Irradiates mission that we had in the desert. So, he's got missions, but they're telling me to go to Millennium City, and he's got missions, but they're telling me to go to either Vibora Bay or back to the desert. So we're going to skip those. Let's sort out the Hunter Patriots here first, shall we? Since they're closest. I mean, this is also Hunter Patriot area. This is the Gadroon stuff. They're trying to terraform the Canadian wastes here, and a little bit here as well. And these are the Viper missions. But yes, so we are way over leveled for these guys. But that's fine. I mean, the less I have to pay attention to what's going on the screen, the easier it is for me to talk. It can be kind of difficult seeing mission objectives against the snow, but I have vague memories of them being around here, so that helps certainly. And once you get within a certain range, they do start glowing, or well, shining, like they're silver or something. How many of those do I need? Oh, that's all I needed. Answer found. So there's a mission over here. Steelhead Division sent you. I could use the help. I'm Helen Charbonneau, Steelhead Division's resident exobiologist. These Gadroon creatures are trying to terraform this area to be like their homeworld, and they'll succeed unless we put a stop to them. Finally, you know how long I have been asking Steelhead Division to send some help? Like forever, that's how long. Seems unlikely. That's a lot of missions. Let's come back to you. Once we've done these things, I think. That seems reasonable. Because otherwise we'd just be being pulled in this direction for a lot of those things, and it would just be a bit too hectic. Do I actually physically destroy these? Can I physically destroy this? Or is it something smaller that I need to destroy? Oh well. I haven't been checking what the psychic information is, have I? Let's do that with the next ones we see. Oh, there's some. Awakened Handler, which has an awfully strange mask. Oh, that's just exactly the same information that we'd get from any other Viper agent. And he's got a kind of psychic hood on. Yeah, that's exactly the same. Do both of them have psychic hoods on? Yes, but his is larger. It's interesting that his psychic powers, or the psychic powers of Viper, operatives, is green rather than purple, as most others are. What's he doing all the way over there? These guys aren't actually my targets, but I'll still take them down. Oh, and there's his handler. Fucking miles away. How was that helpful? We've got a couple of missions over here, it seems. So that's fine. Let's do those. Ah, a Viper bunker. A snake's nest, you might say. A viper's nest. Ha! Got the saying wrong. deeply strange. This is the entrance, or maybe this is the entrance, and apparently, I don't know, maybe there's a stairwell here or something. But it is always deeply strange when the topology of a... Oops, hello, what's this? Oh, he's a precog. It's probably someone we're supposed to be friendly with. The glacier. Oh, so they're using some part of the glacier archetype build as the basis for him, but just equipped him with power armor powers. Not like Space Marine power armor powers like in Warhammer. Although you can kind of get close to that if you squint. You can kind of build a Space Marine in the game if you really go for it. And aren't too fussy about how exactly the Space Marine functions. But the power armor power set basically kind of makes you like Iron Man, really. I'm not too fond of the way that those powers work, though. Like, so this is a maintain power. That's a charge up power, and there's toggle powers as well, which I don't really like very much. I usually prefer... Oh yes, and there's click powers like ball lightning, which is just you hit it, it sends a thing out, which has an effect, and then it goes on cooldown. Those are the powers I prefer, maintain and click powers. I don't especially like toggle powers. So what information will this have? Oh, just exactly the same info as other members of Viper of the same level. Great. Not totally clear on what exactly is happening to them either. Do they leave? Do they cloak themselves psychically? Is that why they disappear? Okay, yeah, we can see more of the map now. So this was the entrance, and I mean, I guess that there's room for a corridor here. So like maybe there's a stairwell or like a lift or something from the surface, because all we saw on the surface was like a concrete tower. I suppose it might even be just a column access way with a ladder in it or something, but it is always odd when the map doesn't match up with anything that's physically possible. I mean, I'm absolutely positive that I've seen, not in here but elsewhere in the game, a section that I know had a door in it that I entered through that has map behind it. where there's only the thickness of a wall or two that separates one area that I have been in with another, despite there being apparently a door between them that leads to the surface somehow. There are quite a lot of power sets in this game, but I feel like there should be room for more if anybody working on the game actually felt like attempting it. Like, water could be a good option. Gravity, time. I mean, there's already some powers that affect or have like gravitic effects, like that cause a kind of singularity and throw people around. So it's definitely doable, and other superhero MMOs have water powers and time powers and gravity powers and all sorts, like plant control powers. Like, that's not an option in this game, and I kind of wish that it was, because it'd be super cool. Like, you can create a character that looks like they're a tree, basically, almost perfectly, in the game, in this game. But you can't do any kind of pheromone control or plant control or anything, which is just really disappointing. Like, from what I understand of the way that the game is run, just reading stuff on the Discord, they're just kind of letting things tick over without putting any development effort into the game at all. I mean, they might rebalance powers a little bit here and there, but broadly speaking, there are no resources being put into the game to even finish development on stuff that was kind of almost implemented, but not quite. Like there's, I mean, I keep coming back to this, but it's something that I keep seeing and I kind of wish that I could interact with. So there were supposed to be extra rooms in the hideout, which is like a secret base for your character that you can customize. And all of them have like doors to that would have led to extra rooms, and I think I have demonstrated in a previous stream that the Moonbase hideout is the clearest example of the extra rooms, because you can actually exit the Moonbase and kind of walk about on the moon's surface, and you can see like there's a central area hideout, and then there's two tunnels that come off to extra rooms that like you can look through the domes of at the stuff inside, but you can't actually access, like you can't use the doors, which I think sucks, because it's almost there, like it's almost complete, and they haven't completed it. I'm just looking around to see if there are any doors along the walls that would let me out without having to go back through the whole mission, but there aren't. So I will have to backtrack all the way. It's weird, some of the missions in this game have one of those, like an easy exit, and some of them don't, and I don't know why. Like, are the ones that have easy exits at the end later editions? Was it different people working on different missions and they didn't have a unified design doc or goal or like design standard when they were coming up with the missions? Who knows? Oh, was I supposed to have been given a mission to help him? I am a curious side effect of Viper's Project Awakening. I am a precognitive, able to tell the future with 87.6% accuracy. It is good to see you, technical issues, but I cannot say I am surprised. Our meeting was inevitable. Well, not totally inevitable. Escapee from Viper's Project Awakening program in Canada's Massasauga Hills. Massasauga Hills. Part of the program to create psychic superheroes, this experimental subject instead developed precognitive abilities. Harassed by fellow Viper agents, the male Viper precog and his mate escaped and are currently on the run from Viper. That's probably supposed to be. I think I'm probably supposed to have met his female counterpart already and been asked to go and find him, but I mean, let's go for it. After Viper found out my mate and I were precogs, they tried to get information about the future to use to their advantage. I have seen your future heroics, and I thank you in advance for rescuing me and leading me to safety. I mean, that's accurate. I will do that, but it also seems somewhat presumptive. Oh, is he off? Okay. Hopefully this won't be one of the irritating escort missions. I mean, how much am I going to have to babysit him? I see a vision of you on a tropical island surrounded by a strange alien life forms and gargantuan monsters. Yeah, that sounds like Monster Island. I'll be going there sooner or later. Oh, he can fight back. Nice. Don't know that he has any self-healing though, which is... Oh, no, he just heals right back up to full. Cool. I just have to get him through each fight. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what his route is. I think I've only done this a couple of times, and it would have been a while ago the last time I did it. So I don't actually know... Would you like to know who will be elected Canadian Prime Minister in the year 2114? Well, the way things are going, I do kind of wonder about there even being a 2114. And it's good that you can't just go and fuck with the wildlife because you feel like it. Like, those guys aren't even targetable. This guy I can select. I can't really do anything with him. I can talk to him a bit, but when I mouse over him you can see that he's got a health bar. These wolves, they're just an environmental effect apparently. Okay, this is the patrol route of the dude. I don't know if I'm gonna find him this first try. I know that previously it's taken a bit of a while. Yeah, so his psychic powers are green, which is unusual for psychic powers. I mean, all the other psychic powers are by standard purple, even the ones that you can take as a player character. Although, aha! An infiltrator. You can see his footprints on the snow. I mean, yeah, if you're playing as a freeform character, you can change the power colours. From the baseline standard, but yeah, as a standard, psychic powers are generally purple. Aha! A courier. Not on the route that I thought he would be, which is irritating. I don't actually really need the guard rotation if I can just, if I am, as I am clearly capable of just rocking up and beating the tar out of these guys. I don't really know that I need to know the guard rotation. I mean, maybe it's for someone else. Maybe it's for someone else who, some other team of people who need to break in at some point, but I demonstrably don't have a problem with them. Oh, that's interesting. She actually isn't wearing a mask of any kind. She's exactly... Oh, her precog ability is even more accurate. Nice. I think she would have given me a mission to go and find the male partner. But because I found him first, that's not an issue. Lab reports. Is this another courier that I need to take down? Or is he just a replacement of the one that I already took down? Ah, there was 3 of them. Okay. Mission 13. Steelhead trainees. Okay. And there's also destroy these as well, isn't there? Oh yeah. Destroy those, but not here. I'm supposed to be destroying those here, not here. Oh well, I mean, it's still helpful, because it means that they won't attack me if I fly over a certain height, but how many of those do I need to rescue? 2 more. Okay. Oh, whoops. Moved too far away. They were trying to give me a mission. That's awkward. Hopefully the next set of Mounties that I rescue will drop a mission for me. Why is a psychic adept using a knife? I guess they're not that good at using psychic powers. Or maybe it's a psionically charged knife somehow? Ah, I've been targeted by anti-air missiles. Do you reckon you could stop that? Hey, here's some Mounties. Give me a mission. Hey! A call was just made from a nearby research lab. The squad of Gadroon invaders have infiltrated a nearby lab and taken some scientists and researchers captive. Rescue those endangered eggheads. We've seen evidence previously that being a researcher or scientist in this universe is one of the most danger-prone jobs. Where's that telling me to go? Here? That's fucking ages away. From the Viper Agent's Handbook, Viper Coils of the Serpent. Chapter 1. The History of the Snake. The world is about to become a cauldron of such chaos that it will be beyond even my ability to tolerate. Only snakes can prosper in such a world, and your task is to nurture them. I don't know that snakes are the world's most adaptable creatures. I feel like humans qualify as the most adaptable. Or cockroaches, perhaps. You must build a new nest for snakes in the modern world. You must seize the world by the throat, or all will be lost. Message of the great serpent Nama to the Unholy Order. The Unholy Order went on to found an army called the Venomous Imperial Party of the Eternal Reptile, which we now know as Viper. Right, okay. So that's actually from a while ago. Last thing here is destroy the what's happening with this missile? Well, I didn't manage to destroy it. So hold on, are there any more of those? Would you fucking stop that? Jesus Christ. You're going to give me another mission? Yes. Ravenspeaker has passed along information that there is a demonic presence in a nearby cave. He asks that you investigate and, if necessary, eradicate. Over here. Well, we could probably go and do that. Are there any more? Or was that the only one? I remember that we had a mission to deal with some. Yes, there we go. No, I didn't destroy it before it blew up. Oh well. That's another one, and last one. Where's the last one? Ah, there we are. Stop it. I pulled them anyway. And whilst we're on the way, we might as well take these guys out, just for the sake of it. Was that all of them? One, two, three. I don't remember which mission we were supposed to be doing. Or which mission that was. The name of that mission we were doing. Is this the door? Or is it over here? No. Ah, it's this one. It's flashing. Oh, that looks like a pretty epic fight, doesn't it? I don't know who this is. We weren't really on that page long enough, or that splash screen long enough for me to start naming heroes and villains, but we had Grond, Talisman, Medusa, and Foxbat up at the top, and it looked like Defender and Witchcraft and a bunch of other of the champions. Interesting that the infiltrator wasn't invisible. Usually they are. Why do they need these tanks? I mean, they've got hover tanks outside. We saw them. Surely they're more dangerous than whatever these sorts of tanks are. I'm no tank expert. I just recognize it as being fairly iconic as a tank. I couldn't put a name to it. I really hope that I haven't missed any of those boxes out. I mean, we're going through a few rooms by this point, haven't we? Look at this. I'm going to be really disappointed if I've missed one of those glowing boxes just because I wasn't close enough to see it glow. I don't know why I'm not just taking the guns. I mean, I assume that they would be useful. Now, this probably has... Oh no, there he is. He's just phasing in with the Viper soldier. Now, we've already established that my character has some kind of subspace transport inventory, because she's been able to carry large objects, like very large objects, non-visibly in other instances. Oh, there we go, that's all of them. I like that there is an audio cue to let you know that you've completed a mission, even if there isn't an exit in this one either. I have to go back all the way through the whole mission. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh well. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, there's some Icehound demons who have taken out a Viper operative, so I don't especially care about him. I'll leave them to it. I still can't remember what I was going to say before. It's completely left my mind. Sure enough, a bunch of ice demons have taken over these caves and are using it for their own dark demonic purposes. Clear them out before the demonic influence spreads even farther. Righto. Oh, I've got points to spend. Is there anything else that I want to level up? I think I probably want to improve this. But do I want to improve Lightning Storm? No. Don't even want Storm and Thunder or Panic and Ruin. Okay, let's take the shield. Oh yeah, oh okay, take this. Then I'll be choosing one of these, I don't know which. So this should, yeah, I don't know if it's visible, but that is slightly larger than the previous version. crafting skill's not high enough to be able to take from that crafting node. Oh well. Seen primarily in Canada, these frigid fiends have risen recently as the result of the corrupting influence of the demon gods Tillinkut and Kikatilik. Ice shards and frost breath make this algid adversary formidable and frightening. Be sure to block or end up bound by an incapacitating ice cage. Yeah. A lot of alliteration. Oh, that's an even bigger crafting node. Okay. So this is the way we came in. Yeah, you can see by the huge white door. And then this is the... Wait, no, hold on. This is the only way forwards. That might be telling me that there's an event on in Millennium City, because I know that there's... Oh, it's all of them. Cool. I know that there is a yearly Halloween event, but I don't know whether it's already started. I suppose that might be telling me that it has. But, yeah, I don't know that it starts at the beginning of October. Seems a little early. Well, I mean, I've been calling it Spooktober, so maybe I'm not the right person to be saying this is too early to say Halloween events, but... Oops. That's the crashed plane, or half of it anyway. I think the rest of the plane is over here. Yeah, there we are. Convenient that it broke apart just over Steelhead, but didn't crash into the base itself. Anyway. I'll sort it out after the stream's ended. Oh right, his missions were for the Patriot, Hunter Patriot stuff. Well, that's interesting. It looks like the only one body in the Oceanic 408 crash. It looks like only one body. Okay, wasn't recovered. A Lee Tosi. That name sounds suspiciously familiar, but I'm not sure why. I assume this is a reference to something that I just haven't watched. Ha! This should keep the Hunter Patriots in the dark. Terrific work, Technical Issues. You know, you're fitting in very nicely here at 4 Station Steelhead. I hope you'll be staying a while. So, a bunch of the Oceanica Flight 408 stuff in the disaster that we did a week or so ago was referencing Lost, which is not a show that I've seen. Hey dude, I'm sorry if you messaged me a while ago. I've only just noticed that you've said yo in the chat. Hello. What's this? Excellent work. Let's see what these dispatches have to say. That noise might have been stuff leaving my inventory, actually, now that I think about it. Did not mean to take that mission. Let's drop it. Telling me to go to Millennium City anyway. And this would be telling me to go to the desert, so I won't be taking that either. The Hunter's hunting. The Hunter Patriots seem to be looking for something around the plane. The only thing we know that's missing is the missing passenger, Lee Tosi, but we have no idea why. See if you can't discover what their orders actually are. The lieutenants usually have more information about their underlings. We need to get down to the bottom of this technical issues. The reports you've obtained are illuminating, but it still doesn't tell us what Director Fang is up to. You are going to have to confront him, and let's both hope he's holding intel about what's behind the closed doors of Viper Project Awakening. Yes, let us hope. Hunter Patriot operatives have been causing trouble to the east of Force Station Steelhead. Eddie Nelson is our man keeping an eye on them, but he may need some assistance. You can find him just outside the main Steelhead building, right next to Celestar. I think I've already talked to him. Those reports you captured contain a wealth of information. I don't know why these lights are flickering like that. I'm doing nothing. I'm not moving. Dranikin, you could be consistent, please. It's very distracting. Those reports you captured contain a wealth of information, important information about Viper's activity. Do you think you could get your hands on some fresh reports? Find and intercept couriers. Find Project Awakening courier crossing the river. Oh, so that's just a repeatable quest, I guess. Sure. Fantastic work taking down those psionic soldiers' technical issues. You know, if you'd like, I could probably pull a few strings with immigration and get you made a Canadian citizen. As far as I'm concerned, there is no greater honor than that. Okay. I don't even know what nationality my hero would be. Corvus? He's making no bones about what sort of character he is he? We've completed Mounting Danger. Thanks for saving those trainees. I really should discipline the young soldiers for disobeying orders and going after Viper. Still, you've got to admire their initiative, right? You should probably still discipline them. So what mission is this? Is that just beat up 150 of them? Oh, we've got more stuff to do over here. Okay. Let's level up. We've only got 1 point there, but we do have a specialization point to spend, and I don't know off the top of my head where to put it. Find the mark and the best defense. Let's go with this. So now we are just chilling over here. Let's see if this has any info about Canadian terrorist organisation devoted to bringing down the Canadian government and severing all ties with the British Crown. The paramilitary organisation also dabbles in mysticism, and many of their rank-and-file soldiers possess a psychic link as a result of dark magic. This soldier is mind-linked with his minions, so hurt his henchmen in order to defeat this Hunter Patriot. Okay, so that wasted some time. I probably should have... There we go. Trust no one, and the perfect prey. Info. Cowardly Hunter Patriot willing to give up information if things get tough. So we've hired this group called the Brain Trust to help us. Their leader, an oversized brain called the Overbrain, sent 2 members of his super team, Black Mist and Lynx, to help us look for a Teleos clone south of here, who was... Ah, fuck's sake. I don't have enough time. I suppose the text is here as well. Help us look for Teleos clone south of here, who was on the flight that went down during the recent snowstorm. Here we are looking for missing Teleos. Okay, so that's that one. And then the perfect prey text is here, so we can let him go. We're looking for a package that was being transported on the plane. One of the passengers, Lee Tosi, is actually a Teleos clone. Teleos? Hey! Another person whose name I don't recognize, so welcome. I'm not sure how you may have found the show, but thanks for coming and hanging out. We're looking for an important package that we was transporting, and failing that, we're looking for him. Find the missing crash survivor, Lee Tosi. Okay. Investigate both of the lieutenant's leads. Okay. Ah, okay. Your name is not the same as you would be using on the... that's the child-free server. I'm a member of a child-free Discord. I've not played a huge amount of Guild Wars, but it's definitely not much like World of Warcraft. So... Oh, cool. Okay. I don't know that we've had much interaction, but I think I've seen your name mentioned a few times. So if this game is similar to Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2, I'm afraid I'm not able really to say. Yes, that's who. That's what. Oh, Eyebrow Master. Right. Oh yes, we have interacted. Ah, so Shinobi has played Guild Wars. And he says this is not much like that. Well, fair enough. Black Mist, member of the second string.
The Overbrainers ordered, you reckless cretins.
Member of the second string supervillain group known as the Brain Trust, hired by the Hunter Patriots. Yeah, he's not going to be terribly difficult to take down, is he? So the main thing that I'm doing with this stream is just looking at the stories that the game is telling. I'm not really focused on like character building because I'm not terribly good at it. I use builds that other people have come up with, but it's free to play, and you get a certain number of slots for characters, and when you create characters, they are what's called archetype characters.
Supervillain? I'm just a furry who fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, so that's the information about Lynx. She's actually a furry who just wanted transformation into this from standard baseline human and is in over her head. We'll find it out when we beat her up in a little bit, but...
What do you Hunter Patriot dudes have against Canada anyway?
So, I guess that it's a little bit like... Yeah, she immediately gives up. I guess that the game is a little bit like WildStar, except I did play that, and it's not really, like... It's not as interactive, like, they don't have as big, like, telegraphed zones. Please don't hurt me. I just wanted an awesome fursuit, and now I owe the Overbrain for providing me with weird genetic augmentation. But I don't want to be evil, and I never wanted to be a supervillain. I think I'm in over my head. I should never have gotten mixed up with the Brain Trust or those Hunter Patriot terrorist creeps. So, she is actually wearing some clothing, at least. Okay, listen. I made a big mistake. These Hunter Patriot creeps are bad news, and I never wanted to be part of a group of terrorists. I just want to strut around with my furry cat augmentation, go to a couple comic book conventions, and... have I been logged out? Oh, she just disappeared because of the latency. Okay. Comic book conventions and maybe have some laughs. I never wanted to hurt anyone, and the Hunter Patriots are dangerous and crazy. They stole a gravity bomb from the Gadroon aliens, right? And they're, like,
never wanted to be a supervillain, but
totally planning to detonate it by Steelhead. If you hurry, you can stop them. They're on the mountains just south of Steelhead. So... yeah, perhaps the tone is similar. The game is like almost explicitly based around... Where am I supposed to be going? Here, right. Sort of Silver and Bronze Age comics, and almost as campy, but not quite as the Adam West Batman. Now, the game is free to play, as I was saying before. When you come in with creating a new character, you'll have an archetype, like a very rigid character path to follow. The character I'm playing is freeform, which means I can just take any powers I feel like once I'm sufficient level. So there's a lot. Oh, these are all the powers I have. So I can only show you the ones that... I don't know why it's not showing... Just... Oh, there we go. Game's having trouble loading. So there's loads and loads of powers available in different power sets. Oh, these are all called null message. That's irritating. Psychic, brick, which is like heavy weapons, earth, and just punching really hard. The game was made in 2009 and hasn't really been updated very much since. So I think it might predate WildStar a little bit. Magic, and then those are flight powers. So a freeform character can just choose any powers that they feel like. Not that choosing any power you feel like is a terribly good... what is going on with my connection? Not that choosing any power you feel like would be a terribly good build. This is clearly still rubber banding me, and this does not usually happen, and I don't know why it is. This is just not working at all. I'm gonna call the stream here because I'm clearly having a lot of problems with it. See you on Monday. That's the next time I'll be streaming. What is going on? I'm not even... Yeah, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll usually advertise the fact that I'm going live in various places, and hopefully on Monday the game will not be having connection issues, or I will not be having connection issues, whichever it is that is the problem at the moment. Thank you for coming in by, and hope that you have enjoyed what's happened and that you check me out again.